Cool. So, hello everyone. Hello everyone together. Nice to see you again. Today, we have a very special topic with our Flutter stuff. So after we cleaned up the last time our mess a bit with that nice little user model, Dart, we have today the chance to upgrade our UI a bit, because right now our UI looks a bit bad or a bit less attractive, I want to say. And so we want to get rid of that and want to improve that a bit. So therefore, I'm opening up for now, first of all, the emulator, that we get the nice little AVD. So I do that by pressing up here that nice little icon of Android. And with that, it opens up your virtual device. And what I want to do is, for example, give our login page a little bit more structure. Right now, we have only the login field and the password field with two buttons. And what I want to see at the end is something like this. So we have one logo on top, we have the email and the password down there, and the buttons down here. So as you see, I have prepared already once the whole thing. So let's see if we can create something like that today. So I'm going that to the side, I'm going that to here. As you can see, I also prepared this time again that we have the whole monitor for us. That brings the benefits that you can see again the keyboards that I press. You will see also that nice little windows again. So with that, we are sorted, I think, to see everything that we need. And let's try to start our app. For that, we take a sip of coffee. And we resolve our dependencies. And then let's get to work. In the meantime, I open up some windows, because what we need today, or what we most likely will need today, is we want to have an asset the first time on our mobile device. That means this is a picture or a graphic or a sound file or anything that is already located during deployment. So that means as soon as we send or create our app for Android, we want to get all the data together to send, for example, pictures with it, like a logo or sound files that we want to execute, that we don't get from a server, that we get and put directly into our device, more or less. And these things we call assets. And these assets have a special use case that we have to use specifically. And if we search for assets in the Flutter documentation, like I do here, we will most likely get a lot of that stuff. So for example, adding assets and images, which is pretty good. So what do we read here? Flutter apps can include both code and assets, sometimes called resources. Okay, so assets are resources. An asset is a file that is bundled and deployed with your app and accessible at runtime. Common types of assets include static data, for example, JSON files, configuration files, icons, and images. Good. Specifying assets. Flutter uses the pubspec YAML file located at the root of your project to identify assets required by an app. Okay, good to know. So that means we need to specify it in the pubspec.yaml. So let's jump back to our Android Studio and see how the compiling is working. We get some errors from Firebase core. This is okay, I think. Right now they are very, very hard in development, so they change like every week their version, I have the feeling. So we are waiting, somehow flickered everything. Okay, here we go. And okay, running Gradle, takes a while. In the meantime, I want to start with the pubspec.yaml that we find in our main location of the folder, main location under pubspec.yaml. And here we have also our old packages defined, if you remember in the beginning. And if we scroll down a bit, we have that whole bunch of comments for information generic data types. We can get rid of that, I think. The following line ensures that the material icon font is included with your application. Cool, can be also removed. So to add assets to your application, add an assets section like this. assets, colon, and then give it with hyphens the image names. Well, let's do that. Assets, colon, and then we have the image name. So if we want to bundle our asset, it has to be somewhere, right? So in that cases, he writes something from images, but I think if I remember well, an image asset, the variant C, okay, cool. So we have here a lot of text. Let's go back to our specification and to include all assets under a directory, specify the directory name with a slash character at the end. Okay. Interesting. So let's create for now an assets folder. We create a directory called assets. And in that assets folder, we want to have our logo. Of course, I prepared something here, our nice little logo. So if I double click that, you will see our logo. And the benefit is if we look here on the right side, it's very small. So we can move that up here, up, copy that, cool. And we have now in our assets folder, the logo. Up, I add that now, whoop. Okay, beautiful. I've seen right now this one is blocked, so let's bring it back. So Control-Alt-A will create that file with in our GitHub repository. And with that, we want to access that now. So in our pubspec.yaml, we created that assets. Now we have our assets folder. Let's see if we get some subscription. No, we don't. So assets / and now we can specify the image itself, or we could leave it like that and we have already our asset here. But I want to be specific, so we create that. As you can see, don't wonder if I can press always Command Alt and Shift P or L. So this or this, they are equivalent. I'm only working in business at work with P, and here Command L will work the same. So they just rearrange the code. If I have here, for example, an empty line, no, it doesn't work. What would work? Let's, for example, make here a space. Yeah. So if there would be just a space and I press Command Alt L, it will move the SDK where it belongs. Good. So with that, we added our first asset to our project. That means we can now get from our source code, we can now achieve to access that image. And this image we want now to have in our login Dart. So if we look at our app, we see we have here the email address, the password, we have these nice little buttons down here, and the login screen. So what I want to do first is to create a basic layout, how it should look like. And for that, we have a nice little scaffold, nice little widget that I found. And we get the dependencies because the pubspec YAML has changed. So we get that, and that's nice. And for that, we go down here to our form. And what we want to have, or what I want to have, is most likely a widget that contains all 3 of these and 2 of these. And then we can have something like a placeholder on top of that. Let's see if it works like this. The placeholder will create us a nice little block around it, you see? And this is now our space that we want to use for our logo. But what we can see is it is very big, and we see that nice little bottom overflowed by 91 pixels. That just means that all the content has moved down, and we broke our app with that, and Flutter gives us the opportunity to look at it directly as this. So what that means is that I have to change something in overall. And maybe our column is not anymore the best way to handle all that content inside. Maybe we have to change here something. For example, we could use a list view. A list view should be, this can be removed then. List view is a container that can be scrollable. And with that, we have the opportunity to scroll inside of our application, which leads that we have more space, of course. The only problem that we have with that is that we have to make sure that all the contents are inside. And yeah, we have to make sure, we have to understand that everything inside here needs to have a specific height. Because if it would be infinite, we have an infinite container with that list view with an infinite content, which would lead to a very, very, very big problem. And Flutter will prevent us to do so. So let's don't do it. Huh. Okay, our placeholder. So what I want to have here instead of the placeholder is the logo. And with these three, we could create a new widget for, I think, the email field, password field, and login control. Or are they related to the buttons? I'm not sure yet. Let's see what we can do here. We have the email field. They are with the email controller. Ah, yeah, okay. I needed to, or I should create maybe a provider for all of that. Then I could make it more specific. But let's say I'm a bit lazy right now. So what I want to do is have here something where we have our image inside. So most likely it is an image somewhere. Yeah. And oh, I seen something. There's also an asset image. Yes. So let's take an asset image and try to find our asset. Maybe asset image.asset. String name asset bundle. Okay. Before I do that, let's check the documentation, right? So how do we can use an asset? Text assets, loading an image, declaring a resolution. Okay, so here we have something. Return decorated box. To load an image, use asset image class in widgets build method. For example, you can load an image, load the background image from the assets declaration above. Okay. So for us, we don't need that for now. We just say asset image and then give the image itself inside. Okay. So let's make a decoration image for now. Surround that by, whoops, sorry. Surround that by a new widget. No. Doesn't want. Okay. Decorated image. No. Just an image. And then here we want to have an asset. Asset image. And then just assets / logo.png. The element type asset image can't be assigned to list type widget. Okay, so this wants to be something else. So let's try decoration, box decoration, image decoration. Okay, anything using image stream, image cache. If you work with some of the lower level classes, like, okay. Assets image, okay. I thought this would work. Let's try container. Which container child, I think. Child. And I say this is the asset image. Up. Oops, comma, here we are. And yep, what is wrong? Cannot assign, okay. Then let's say, what could be in a container? Padding. Let's make it easy. Let's just take that decoration image and try our best with the image attribute. Oops, back. Here we are. And say something like this. Or is it also red? Yeah. Can't be assigned to widget. Okay, then let's take the box decoration at the end. Still not. What's wrong? Can't be assigned to tip widget. Okay, then last but not least, the decorated box. Around it, expected one argument, but found multiple. Yep. This needs most likely a child. Is it a child? No, decoration. Decoration. But it looks a bit weird. How can I don't want to do all of that stuff. It sounds like I have just to create an image, which most likely is a widget. Yep. And here inside I have to give the image, which is an asset image with the string name assets/logo.png. So, much better. Could be that easy. So let's see how it turns out. We make a hot reload of the whole stuff. Here, hot reload. And nothing has changed, so that means we have to restart once more. See how it turns out. Very good. So, and even with that logo, we have just an image in place. And that image will contain, has an attribute called image, which takes over that assets image. Good enough for now. What I want to do most likely is to add also like a padding to it, because I really don't like that logo is completely from left to right without any padding. Oh, getting errors. Image provider assets image bundle null name. What is wrong with it? We get an error. Was thrown. This was the stack platform bundle exception, asset bundle. Load async. Covered by image resource. Load. Okay, somehow it didn't load. That's weird. Graphics background. Do I need that assets? Maybe it understands me well. That looks like a big stack trace. No, unable to load logo PNG. So it was that, but it seems that it works also. Did I made a mistake here somewhere? It looks quite identical, I would say. Packages get just upgrade. Maybe I forgot something. He's happy, but here's nothing. That's strange. Where we are, asset name, bundle, and package. Okay. And that one should be part of it. PNG assets. Maybe I've misspelled somewhere. Still an error. The following assertion was thrown, resolving an image codec. Unable to load when the exception was thrown. Okay. Unable to load the image codec. Let's see what we find for that in our Google. Flutter images not loaded. Oh, that looks pretty similar to that what we do. Pubspec YAML, okay. Flutter analyze, no issues found, that's good. Get rid of the leading slash, okay. New image asset with 100. I feel really dumb right now. Yeah. No, I don't have the problem. Tools, Flutter clean. Okay, let's see if this turns out. Tools, Flutter clean. So Flutter clean. Let's see what happens. Because I didn't add a slash in front, maybe I forgot something other. 4. Okay, sure. Yeah, now it's everything is empty, so we have to rebuild after the Flutter clean. And then we have that assets logo PNG, which is not part of the YAML file, it seems. But what we can try is that image.asset. Yep, and then say asset/logo.png. Yeah, instead of that. Does it work? No. The argument type image can't be assigned to parameter image provider. Can't be. This is an image provider. Do we have something like provider? Image? No, don't have that. With height, okay. Unable to load image assets. The following assertion was thrown. Expected displaying an image from asset. New children widget, new image asset. Okay, so that means with that new image asset, I can just get rid of that and just get rid of that. So it is a widget itself. That is interesting. But still no. Image provider, asset image, image null. With the image codec still. Okay, that's sad. We have done that. There's a space in between by me. Maybe this is the reason. So if I go here and I remove that asset space, but this shouldn't do a difference, right? You never know. Maybe this is too far away. Let's copy that for now. Like this? No, it's exactly that. Did I made a mistake? No. Assets, logo, PNG. It looks fine. Nothing. Sad. What do I make wrong? Assets, logo. Unable to load. Image issue and widget child framework. Image resource service. Okay. Key underneath, a Flutter key as well. Flutter. Oh, guys, serious. This needs to be intended once more. This is the problem. Much better. Look at that. That was bad. Here we are. Full image, extremely big. Sorry for that. Okay, cool. We managed that. And now we can have like width and width. Yep, width. I don't know, let's say to 100 pixel. 100 and a height of 100. Wunderbar. And that together will create a small image. So let's make it a bit bigger. For example, 250 for us. Should be fine. Yep. My keyboard is not working anymore. Okay. So it doesn't work right now. Don't know what to do. Guys, really sorry for that. Let's see if we, finally. Okay, now I write extremely much twos. Cool. Okay, fix it with a lot of 2s. Yep, cool. We remove all of these 2s and we say 250 and 250. Cool. The good thing is we already centered it, right? So it is already there. What I miss, and I don't know if I can add that here, is like something like a cool box shadow. And I think for that we have to surround the whole thing with a new image, with a new widget, or with a column. I want to add a column. Let's see what happens. I save that now and we come back. That's all good, cool. I want to have like a decoration or something. Text decoration? Not really. Maybe column is not what I want. Let's see. Box shadow Flutter. Let's see where we come to here. Cheat sheet medium. Okay. Let's see where we are. Box decoration cheat sheet. Thank you, Julian Louage. The box decoration class provides a variety of ways to draw a box. The box has a border, a body, and it may cast a box shadow. Okay, cool. That means we need a container, decoration, box decoration. Okay. The container has a new Flutter logo. Okay, let's try that. We have instead of a column, we have a container with a child. Yep, cool. Which doesn't work like that because we want to have it like this. Cool. This can be gone. Cleaned up a bit. Wonderful. So, and that container has now, no, wait, a container, and the container has a decoration. Aha. Okay, so that container gets a decoration. Box decoration, I assume. Here we go. Cool. And you get different stuff. For example, a box shadow. And I want to have a box shadow. Do we have a cool example of a box shadow? Gradient. Okay. For HTML and so on, I usually use, what is that all about? That's a lot of text, I think. What does a box shadow need? Most likely a box shadow. Cool. We have that, and here we have a blur radius, spread radius. Let's do it for now with 0, 0. Spread radius, 0, 0. We have an offset. What does it need? Ooh, a lot. Offset, offset, offset 0, double, blur. Okay, this is part of offset. Yeah, it is. Okay. So we also give that a 0, 0. Ah, yeah, 0, 0. And last but not least, we have the color, which is black. Colors.black. Let's make it a shady black. Black 45, for example. Cool. What is wrong? The argument box can't be assigned to parameter type list of box shadow. Ah, this is a list of box shadows. Okay. Let's see what happens. Everything green. Cool. So of course we see a gray area. Not expected. Okay. That means this container is now part of all of them. I don't really want to have that because now this container, I thought that container will only have that child in it, but it seems that that container is spread on the left and the right side. Can I give that container a width and a height? Okay, from 250 to 250. Maybe I then have not to give the image a height and width. Let's see how it turns out. And I see nothing. Unlucky. But maybe it has something to do with the box shadow. What I want to try is in HTML and CSS, there is a generator that I know, or multiple generators. I think there are a lot of them. Right now I take that from CSS Semantics, CSS Semantic. And let's twist here a bit around. So the cool thing is here you can directly see the box shadow. And I don't know, but maybe we can directly reuse that. So what we have here, 5 pixel, 5 pixel, and the color. And the color is black with an opacity. Let's first see if we can create that here. We have a color, but can we give that color an opacity? I doubt it. Then we have 5 pixel, 5 pixel, 5 pixel, which means blur radius. Okay, blur radius seems to be dead. We give it, let's say, this much. So an 8. So blur radius we have here. We'll give him an 8. We have the spread radius. That means how much it is around. And I think we had that on 4, maybe on 5. 5 looks quite good. So spread radius is 5. And the offset, I think the offset is what the length of it, how much we move it to the right or to the left. So I want to write it 5, 5, which would be fine, I think. So 5 and 5. I think this is a double, so in the worst case, we can, or in the best case, we also make it to a double. Sorry, key pass attacked. Okay. And how does it turn out? Not that good. It is the shadow that is so big. I don't know why. Does the shadow need a width? No, it can't be. Oh, sorry. Nope. Maybe I have to give the box shadow a bigger part, but if I say that the width of the container is 250, it doesn't really care, it seems. Okay, now we move that back to that. We rebuild, let's see how it turns out. Not at all. Okay, so the height seems to be the important one. Remove the width. Okay, yep, seems to work. I actually don't know really why this is happening. What is if I put a row around it? What happens now? Ooh, not bad. Not bad at all. So that means I have now a row, and we have that container as a child, which should be container into a center, because we want to have it centered with the child. Okay. How does this look like? Rerun. No, doesn't do it. Oh, come on. Thought it's good. The row. Okay, maybe it's not the row. Maybe I have to give it something else. The container is surrounded by a list viewer. And now I can contain it by a center. Aha, here we go. It worked like a charm. So it just needed to be wrapped more or less. And with that, I could create that nice little shadow, as we can see. So it looks a bit more taken off from the background. And that's quite something. I don't know if I can add more decorations, because right now I have only the box shadow. Oh, here we go. What can I add else? I can add a box shape, a blend mode. Okay. So what I want to try is to make it a bit more roundish, that it's not that harsh in the center. Let's see what we get here. We have a border radius. Let's say border radius 8, all from 8 pixels, and see what happens. Okay. It wants a radius. Oh, okay. Circular. Yeah, take circular. Cool. Do we even see something? Not really. Maybe I have to improve it. Make it higher. Nope. Ah, the shadow has getting a border. But not the center itself. So the question is now, the image itself didn't get it. What can I do here? Maybe I can do something like image and say image is the asset image of logo. So asset/logo.png. And now I can maybe give that image here some decorations, or maybe shape, no. Border radius, nope. Okay, that's underwhelming. Filter quality, fit frame builder, gap less, playback, loading builder, repeat semantic. Okay, there's a lot of stuff to do, but not necessarily what I want. Interesting. So with, that's the box decoration. That is what I want to do. Transform, foreground decoration. Okay. Don't know what this means. Box decoration. Okay. Border radius. We try it again. Let's see what happens. So border radius all. We give him a radius. Circular. 8 pixel. And a lot of commas. Let's see what happens. 33. Oh, something happened. 99. No, not necessarily. Or do I don't see it? No. Oh, that's a bit sad. I thought I would be smarter, but it didn't work quite that well. Maybe the image is not necessarily part of it. Interesting. Image inside Flutter, round corners, image. Let's see what happens. Round corner in Flutter. Flutter maker, huh? Yeah, you see that he tries the same thing. Use clip R rect. It will work perfectly. Image network. Okay, this is my asset image. Border radius. Go for it. Clip R rect. Okay. Not the first thing that I would expect to do, but let's see. If it's working, I'm happy. So instead of that image here, seems that I have to get rid of that. Get rid of the image. And we say image.asset. No? What's wrong? That's the box decoration center, and this will be a child. Yeah, beautiful. And I want to wrap the whole thing with an R. How was the name? Clip rect. Clip R rect child. Okay, that worked. And now we want to make it beautiful, so that means border radius. Did that already. We give him a border radius all, a radius of circular with a radius of, for example, 8. Order that a bit. Cool. And let's see, where's our phone? Woohoo! Look at that! We have round borders. That's amazing. And now the next thing that I want to have is like a little bit of scap on the top here. So we have here center. We can give that center nothing, but maybe that container here, padding. No, padding. Here. And that needs an edge inset. Exactly. We give him 8. It's a favorite number right now, so 8 everywhere. So, and this is a bit too much. Don't want to have it for all. I want to have it only for the. Oh, can I just no? He wants an object, and here in that object, he most likely want to have top. Whoop. Placeholder alignment. No. There is an object with top, left, right. So give him an object. Or does it? Ah, beautiful. Cool. Much better, I assume. Up. Yeah, so we have a bit more space on top. Maybe we can also take a margin. Everything else sticks the same. Yeah, it's better. Because with a margin, we have a bit more gap, but without the box shadow, as you can see, because the outer box is moved, which is a bit better, I think. So the next thing that I want to do is getting a bit more space down here and maybe a line or border or something that we can separate it a bit more. Maybe make the image also a bit smaller because I think 250 is a bit too high. Yep, you see it have a bit more space here and it's not too cluttery, especially if the keyboard goes up, as you can see now. Not everything is hidden with it, right? So that's quite good. And I think maybe we can take also to 150, just make it nice little here, that's fine. And now we want to have a bit space and then we can give that one and that one maybe a flex. So what I do, I close that for now. That's quite good, I think, with everything for now. And we concentrate now on that email and password. As I already said, most likely we want to wrap that with a widget, with a child. Yeah. What call we the widget? Is it a container or a row? I think it would be a good row for now. As a child or even children, okay. Of type widget with an up. And give that inside and maybe the password too. No, it's a row, right? So we don't want to do that. What we want to have is not a row, we want to have a column. And the column should be around everything, I think. This can be away, this can be away, this we need. Put that around and give everything inside. So here are children, which contain all of that. Whoop. And closed. Okay, that could work. So we have that center here. Undefined mail. Yeah, it's email field. Yep. Okay, so we have a column which is around everything, and now we have to create anyway rows. So still, I think center is quite good for that one, but the next one will be a row, which then has children. And children is in that case the email. It's one children. And the same thing for here. We wrap that with a row with also children, which contains a password field. And that's fine for now. Whoop. So we remove, what is wrong? A password, children, the widget can be gone, I think. So, beautiful. Okay, everything broke. Yep, beautiful, exactly what we need. What happens? When the exception was thrown, this was the stack. Okay, sized box can be used to constrain the width of the input decorator or text field. The following assertion: an input decorator which is typically created by a text field cannot be unbound width. This happens when the parent widget does not provide a finite width constraint. For example, if the input decorator is contained by a row, then its width must be constrained. An expanded widget or a sized box can be used to constrain the width. Okay, that means this email field has an infinite width right now. Same thing for that password field. So we have to somehow do something with it. PubSpec has been edited. Okay, that's beautiful. Then just get it. Yep. So, and now we want to have that padding and give it a max width. Maybe we can make it an expanded. I think that should be possible. So why can't I replace widget with its children? No, no, no. Don't want to get rid of it. Maybe not yet. Let's check it out. First, we want to have here something special. We have a row that is containing it. We can go back for now. Leave the email here. And we just say we surround that one with a new widget that we call expand. Not sure yet. Stack fit, size box, expand, box constraint. Let's give it this one. I think that should be fine. And maybe the same thing for here. We create a new widget, expand, and say size box expand with a child password field. Let's see what happens. Reloading. Yep. Nope, still error. Another expect. Okay. Whoop, whoop. Still the width, or is it now the height? The following assertion was thrown during the perform layout. Box constraint forces an infinite width and infinite height were found in the layout function by following the function with the okay. So it doesn't seem that the following perform layout was not the right thing, I assume. Okay. So let's find something else that could be making the responsibility here. So to make it a row was not a good idea, I think. Let's see. Flutter, or better go here and search here for it. Row. And let's see what the row class says. Maybe we find something expanded. Aha, maybe we should take that. So we surround that one by an expanded. Why not? Child with that. Up, and check. And now we have it expanded. And the same thing for here. Expanded. Cool. Up. Let's see what our channel does. Finally, we have him here again. And it looks beautiful. Okay. So that is that. And we need here in between, of course, a spacer. Something. Let's see, we have even a spacer, but it needs a flex. And I think with the flex, we will have the same problem like we had seconds ago. So if I say here flex 1, we have an infinity length and the stuff is pushed somewhere. And this is not going to work for our topic right now. So we need something else. One option would be that we say, okay, this center getting pushed pushes a bit down. So after that icon, we give it a bit space, like, I don't know, 100 pixel or something, and then we have our stuff. The other option would be to give the row the same thing for the top. Also a possibility. I think we can just look if this is possible. Not necessarily. Okay. Maybe not. How can I create a spacer in a column? So let's check. Spacer, column, and list view. Up all together. Let's look into our Flutter, because we have that nice little search, so we should use it, right? Spacer class. The spacer widget will take up any available space. Yeah, but not any. We don't want to have that. So layouts in Flutter to create a row. That nice little widget tree, love it. So we have here a row with one icon and okay, and with a column. So a row, column, column, column. We don't want to have that. Image, icon, center. We have an up bar, we have center. Text decoration. It's getting more difficult. How do they do that? New column, 4 children, 1 column, okay. Yeah, everything seen. We have a row. Okay. Spacer between rows. Wrap class. Spacing 8, gap between agenda. Okay. Flexible class. Okay. Have you an idea? No. Okay. Let's see what I find. We have that spacer. We have that row spacer. Row spacer, palette rack. No, doesn't sound right. Space between rows. Let's see what we have here. Nothing. Child expanded. Box fit contain. Will be tiny. Const Flutter logo. Okay. Okay, let's search in Google. Maybe we find something. So Flutter rows space. Set the space between elements in row. Flutter. Between elements in row, not quite what I want, I think. Removing space or... No, this is not necessarily what I want. So JLoage, show me something. So we have the child Flutter logo with sizes, okay. The row, okay, this is a column, got it. Cross axis, yep. Okay. Flutter, put it in different locations. Okay, no, not that easy. Maybe I have to try just around. How about the easiest way, maybe? Yeah, what is the easiest way here? I'm still thinking about just pushing that stuff down. What gives me the row? Anyway, so text baseline, text direction, vertical direction, and that's it. That's not too much. What gives me the column? Nothing, most likely. And that center, but how can I push these two then from each other? If I want to. I mean, not necessarily want to, but horizontal, border radius horizontal, Flutter logo style, stepper type. Rule? No. Space sawtooth. Can I add a padding here? Yeah, why not? Easy enough. So let's do that and say we want to have an edge set of only, let's say top. I want to push it down top 15 and bottom 15. With that, it should be quite nice-ish, at least. Yep, here we go. And what I want is around these two guys, I want to create like a border, maybe. Yeah, that sounds not too bad, I think. What I also want to have is like in front of that email field, maybe an icon would be also something. Maybe I can create that. What happens if I just add here something? And I say here I want to have an icon. And what we have here, we have icons, email. Let's see, alternate email. Let's take an @ symbol. And how does it look like? Not quite that good. It's completely on the side. And then we have that expanded email. So I would like to have them a bit more closely together. I don't know what I can give that icon. Key, size, text direction. Maybe just put it on the right side. Text direction right. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Good enough. Okay. It seems that it has nothing to do with that. And does if I can't remove that expanded, right? Because with that expanded, I say how big that is. And what can I do with that icon that they are working better together? This is currently in a row. And the row says we have an icon, and after that, that expanded thing. First of all, what happens if I give it also an expanded? If I give it expanded, put it in, oh, doesn't work. Okay, the icon has a fixed size, most likely, so we don't want to have that. And let's take a cool email. I don't like that. Email, just take the normal email flag. Yeah, it's better. And can I give that one a border? So for that we have to give him, do I have to make it a container, I think. With that container I could create like, what do we have? A padding, a height. Let's give him a decoration for now, like a box decoration. Like we learned, alright, so the box decoration, give him a color. I don't know what happens if I give him a color. Let's say beige or amber. Amber sounds nice. Okay, what do we get? Did something changed? Did I miss something? Ooh, okay. That seems to work. Not too bad. Okay. But still the container seems not to have the right height. I mean, that input field is quite big and that one is quite small. So maybe I have to give that container a specific height. For example, 150, which is way too big, but hey, okay. 0 for now. Okay, 0 is too less, of course. Okay, then I can push it with padding, maybe to the left. So only left and give it like 15 pixel. Yeah, pixel I don't have to say. Okay, maybe we make a margin out of it. That we don't have that nice little icon. But it seems the far I move it to the right, so if I say we move it, we push it to the left, we have still that gap in between. That's interesting. So that means that icon has a gap of that email, but this happens maybe from the padding that we give. So what happens if I delete it? Of course, the padding will make no sense, so we can, nope, go away. And we just replace that with a widget with its children. But now, here we go. Beautiful. Okay, so with that, we have finally managed that they both stick together. I don't know if I really want to have that, but maybe give me the padding back and say we only want to have that. Why do we have the const here? Looks a bit weird. Only, and we say on the right we want to have like a bit of gap. Okay, so we have here space, and maybe on the left we can also add like 1 pixel for now, just very small, maybe 5. Yep. Yeah. So okay, and what we can do, of course, here is to remove that edge case a bit, give him space to breathe, and yeah, I mean, it's very ugly right now, and we can maybe improve it even more. For example, we can say the color of that, and I hope it is the font color. Don't know if that icon. It's a good question. Do I have to specify it of the icon? Yeah. So maybe this is that, or is it text decoration? Text direction. Okay, no, let's take that color and say we want to have it white. And of course, colors white. Yeah, so it's whitish. Okay. And now maybe that container making a bit bigger. So height 50, and also the width 50. Let's see what happens. It's too big. It's quite okay-ish, I would say. And it fits quite well the whole input field here. So what I can do, if this is for us happy days and we can live with that, with all that stuff here. And what we can do now, we do the same thing more or less. So row, all of that. This is the container, and the row is part of that. That's fine. So we just copy that container and add that in front of that children here. And let's see what happens. Yep. So the same thing. Go inside of that keyboard. We remove that const here. Change that to an only. We say lip right. Give him 20 and maybe a small left of 5. Cool. So, and what I don't like is maybe we should also add a top of also 5, just to get a bit space in between the email and the password here. Let that run. Cool. And now what I want also to do is to go back to that here and say we don't want to have an email, we want to have password. Do we have something? Or crypto? Enhanced crypto, no crypto. Yeah, let's take enhanced crypto. Or lock. We have something. Lock, open, closed, outlined. What looks the best? We have outlined. Check it. Go. Outlined. If we take the lock outlined, I would like to have the email outlined. So because we don't have that, we give him a full lock. And I think that's fine. And I still don't have a space in between these two guys, so row and row. So maybe I have to add here another padding. If you have a better solution for that padding stuff, please let me know in the comments. Maybe I just don't find it yet and I don't want to, don't do it right all the time. So just say something. Cool. So we have that, we have this. Looks good. I would like to have a small border around it, I think. That just makes it nice and cozy. So we have that box decoration with the color. And let's see what we have else. A border radius, a box shadow. No, not a shadow. We had that already. A border. Here we go. So what do we have? Border all. And it has a color. In that case, I take colors.amber, but not the same amber like before. I want to, colors.amber, but with accent. Oh, they are looking quite the same. It's not good. I want to be something reddish or orangish, orange, deep orange. This looks not too bad. So clean it up a bit, so we have a bit more space to work. Whenever you add a comment, it makes that nice little line breaks, so it's a bit more easy for me to understand that. So, okay, so we have now that little border. Can I enhance it? So width, let's say 2. 5, 4, let's see, go. Oh, okay, that's a border. Let's make 2. Okay, much better. Yep, and maybe copy the whole border thingy-majingy. With Control W, I can select the next bigger spacing. So cool. Got that, and we go up here, box decoration, color amber, and we have that border. Yep. So now they are looking the same, I assume. Yes. And so what we can do now, for example, is if we enter like a password, we can make here some changes. So, okay, if it's green, it's very strong. If it's red, if it's bad, and so on and so forth. Okay, looks already much better, I think, and much cleaner. So next way is I want to make this buttons full-sized buttons, so for the whole width, because I really don't like that they are just hidden here. And because we learned something with that expanded, just make them a bit smaller that we see again. The center can be gone. Yep, cool. So that row here contains other stuff. We can make also this one smaller. So login controller, register controller, and login with Google services are these 3 buttons. And what I don't like is that register button currently has that space. So we remove that for now. And yes, we remove, of course, the padding. But we have cool toolings. So we click on padding. and make Alt Enter and say add replace widgets with its children, and that is fine. So we get rid of that part. We rebuild. Cool. Here we go. And what I want to do is quite easy at the end. What we can just wrap that with a here we go. If I make wrap that with a row, then I can say expand it and give that login controller inside as a child. Cool. Let's see what happens. I mean, that was the easiest way. Aha, here we go. So we have fully used the row now, which is good and bad together, I think, because what happens now is that we expand them completely to the edge of the screen. But that's not too bad, and we can leave that for now, and I think we should do that for all of them. So make it a row, and expand them. Expand it. And same for here. Expand it. Okay. So we have now them all in a better shape. What I really like to add is for that login with Google services, nobody writes that anymore, right? We have for that icons. So instead of that whole bunch of text here, which is nice but not beautiful, we can just add an icon with icons.google, most likely. What? There is no Google logo. Okay. That is interesting. Maybe I should check that. Flutter Google icon. Docs, user assets, okay. Flutter icon generator. Build custom Flutter icons. I don't really want to have a custom one. I just want to have one that I thought it's there because Flutter and Google are very big fans. Huh, that's interesting. So there is none, really. Design google.com icons, you see? Even there it is. Funny. Okay. Well, then we just stick with the login, I think. Do we have an icons.login? Is it just a sign in maybe? Assignment? No. Do we have something like user supervised? No. What do we have here? No. Open up? Nope. Nothing. Unfold, infold. Okay, let's take the what's hot. And I think we should wrap the whole thing because I want to see the login and after that icon and after that the text now because, yep. So this is that and this will be a row, I think. So we have the icon and a row should have children or, yep, here we go. Okay, so this can be away and that can be away and after that we need our array ending. Okay, so we have now our icon with the row, and now we have a text where we just say Google sign in. Or better, login with Google. Cool. And yeah, if we don't want to have that in one row, make it this way. And what do we have now? Okay, quite there where I want to have it. The only thing that I don't like is that it is not centered anymore. So let's try the easiest way is just to add a centered around it. And let's see what happens. Nothing. Okay, not like that. Interesting. So how can I center a row? So it has children, maybe it has something else like text direction, cross-axis alignment, main axis alignment, size, text baseline, vertical direction. Okay, so what does it give it to us? So base, center. Okay, easy enough. Let's see if this is working. Building, rebuild. Did it work already? Ah, unlucky. Ah, it's centered of the cross set. Ah, okay. Close enough. Not really what I wanted to have, but maybe then it's the main axis alignment. And maybe here we have also something with center. So it's centered. Aha, here we go. So the cross-axis alignment center was the height, more or less, and take the center of that. And the main axis alignment was the center of left and right. So it is very hot. That's why Google. So let's turn it around and have, for me, I don't know. When I see it now, I would like to have the icon more on the end. But as I said, this is personal preferences, I think. Cool. Nice. And it's also very weird that they are grayish, especially because this one is more an action one. So here we would like to have that row. Is it a row? Even if, where's the button itself? Login with, this is the child, this is a row. Aha, this is a raised button, okay. So can we give it like color, animation duration, disable color, focus color, hover evaluation. Wow, we can give everything. That's beautiful. So let's give it colors, for example, primary. Is this possible? So how can I give a raised button the primary value? Flutter raised button primary color. How to change button color? I know how to change it. I just want to make it the primary color. And I thought we have some, or is that the primary color? And if yes, then I really don't like it. Just let it run. Ah, no, this is what it happens. Okay, maybe I think if that's primary swatch, what do we have else? Primary color, colors. I really like that amber, so I will stick with that for now. Okay. With the primary color, I changed that stuff up there. What do we have else? Accent color. Let's say colors dot. We took that red one, so don't know what is close to that amber. It should be a bit yellowish, I think. That orange accent looks good. Let's try it with that. What do we have else? Background color, app bar theme, button color. Okay, what do we can here? We want to have the button colors. In that case, why not orange? Yeah, let's do it. What happens? Okay, all buttons have changed. That's a bit too much, I think. Orange and too bit much yellowish. Looks like the German Post. Okay, not great, at least not yet. So I color them myself, I think. Yeah, because I want to have that login a bit more primary and then the other ones a bit less primary. So go for it. We search for the login control that we have here. And we have the raise button and we want to give it a color. So color, and we say colors dot, oops, too much. Yeah, which color do we give? Let's say primary is indigo. Yep, cool. Is indigo good? Yep. But then we have also to change the color of the text. Text color should be colors.white. I always try to make it as contrastful as possible, so with that it's getting a quite nice contrast. And register should be not indigo, because I think indigo is always very strong. So let's see, the register button that we have here should have a color of colors dot. Oops. Light blue maybe. It's too fluffy, I think. We have something that is close to indigo, but not that. Indigo accent, of course. And of course, also the color, the text color should be colors.white. So in login with Google, I have something special in my head. I want to make the color of the icon, of course. How should we color a flame? A flame should be green, right? So that's for sure. So with a green flame, it looks quite, no, that's not it, right? That's not it. So maybe red, nah, it's too red. Deep orange sounds good. That sounds like a flame, cool. And maybe what we can do is also give the text a color. Text color, just color. How can I color text? Text direction. Style, maybe, and then give it text style of, yeah, color, background color, give it color for now, and say colors dot deep orange accent. Cool. So now we just need to find something that hits here good. Speaking of which, let's try a different way. Let's say the button is deep orange. I think that could look also pretty good. Now let's say colors dot deep orange, and then we have here better white again. Could imagine that looks pretty good. Yep. So all of them are settled. We have the buttons. We could have here a bit more space in between. I think that is also a good idea. So we have that login button, the register control, and we just create in between of the login row and this row, we just create a bit more padding with a padding of, yeah, let's say again, what do we say? What is that? Oh, that's much better. Oh, that's much better. And I don't have to always specify something in between. Oh, that's good. So that means what I can do most likely is vertical means up and down, horizontal. Yep, cool. Yep. So that means we give it here 10, check, and whoop, destroy everything with that. Cool. Here we go. And let's give it a bit more. Let's say 15. Come. We have space, all right. We have only big devices, so no problem here at all. Cool. And I think we can take the same thing and the same approach for that. Where's our image? That should be here where we have set this. We should take that and say 50 pixel maybe, just to have a bit more space in between. Yeah, something like that, or 40. No, 30. Oh, not doubled. Cool. Yeah, something like this. Okay, so we have enough space to write our stuff. We can scroll now our container, we can click our buttons, and that's quite something, or I mean, we managed something. That's quite good. The next step would be most likely to log into the page. I think that should be also possible right now. So not too bad for our first run, or I'm happy, to be honest. So, and we have our login, our to-do list that can click here around, receive our message, and we can log out. Hey, we finished our first login screen. I'm a bit excited. That's good. Very good job. Okay, guys. So I think that's it for tonight. Thank you so much that you watched our my little show here. And yeah, if you have any questions regarding the login screen, and I most likely will go further with it, so even creating a to-do list or something, or if you have any ideas, just let me know. I will make a small video of that here, of the whole compilation that I created. But yeah, just stay tuned and press the subscribe button.